Now we have our third and final treat for the evening. Rob is going to ask a couple of the folks that were integral in this coming together to come up and take a seat.
Norman Lichtenfeld is here. Okay. And, well, Norm gets the wheelchair. George Shomo is here. He's going to be on the panel. Our editor and fellow producer, Frederick Lumiere. He's stand up and join us. Frederick and I worked very closely the last 9 months together in this close, just about, in an edit room. This man is a genius. And many of you may not know, he's also the director and producer of the History Channel's 10-part series, World War II in HD, which aired in November 2009. So he's the king. And also joining the panel is, direct from London, across the pond, is Jamie Hobbis. Our cinematographer with all those stunning visuals. So you'll hear a true English accent from this gentleman. Okay. Since I think we have one more chair here on the wing, I'd like to recognize some people that were involved with the film. I'd like our visual effects supervisor to stand up, Jonathan Gibson from Toronto. Also with us, he's really a nice guy, is Lieutenant Colonel Max Hansen. Actor Ken Arnold is here. I've got one chair up here. Ken, do you want to join us? You're an actor. You can ham it up. Sure. While we're waiting for Joe, what I want to mention about Ken is his ancestry is German. And when Frederick actually recommended that we use Ken for the part, I thought he looked fantastic. And I said, I just assumed he knew German. He didn't know a word of German. And I said that I wanted the part to be read in German. So why don't you take it from there?
I panicked. Actually, what had happened was after I agreed to do it, 2 days later, I was working on a video for the IRS in Washington, D.C. And they sent me in to get makeup, and the makeup artist was from Germany, and she spoke fluent German. And I told her that I was working on this project, and I asked her if she knew anyone who could help me with my German. And she said, I can do it. So I went and I met with her, and we worked on it, and I worked on it for a good month beforehand, so I could be as close as possible that I could achieve. So.
Fantastic job.
Can I add a little something to this? You know, it's a testimony in how good of a friend Ken is to me. Because he worked with me on 2 films before. He was a loving dad in Tomorrow's Today, and then he was a Catholic priest in Father McGivney. And I said, Ken, I think we have a role for you. He says, what is it? You're going to be an SS war criminal. And he did it, so he must really like us.
He's versatile, right? This is the second film I've worked on with Jamie, and you couldn't imagine a better partner to work with on any film. Jamie, we got to the point of being able to look at each other and he'd go, yeah, right, I know what you need. And it worked out so well. Do you want to speak a little bit about the project, Jamie?
Yeah. I think the hardest part of the project, from a cinematographer's point of view, was the fact that half of all the reconstruction you saw was shot in Belgium, and the other half was shot in Maryland. Now, that sounds okay, except in Belgium we had this beautiful, bright, overcast sky, which was beautiful for us. But then when we went to Maryland, it was blue sky, full sun. And there were some shots that we had to match, and there was one particular shot, it was Ken's shot, where all the soldiers and the jeep that you saw in front of Ken, that Ken was speaking to, all of that was shot in Belgium with the overcast sky. But Ken was shot in Maryland, and we had to match that so that it could all fit in. And it was a pretty scary thing to do. It was a pretty scary thing to do, but good old Jonathan over there, he got us out of trouble. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah. And I think my memory of shooting the Wereth 11 film was when Rob came to me and he said, we've got this shot idea. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. But what I'd really like is to see an SS soldier point a gun right down the lens of the camera. And I said, yeah, sure, no sweat, we'll do that. And then I thought, oh no, hang on a minute, that sounds a bit scary. Call me unadventurous, but I'm not sure that's a good idea. Anyway, I went and spoke to the armourer, and he said, no, listen, it's fine. We'll put a big bit of perspex in front of the lens. And don't forget, it's only blanks. It is only blanks, so it's nothing to be worried about. Great. Okay, Rob, we'll do it. So there I was, lying down by a tree, holding the camera. The camera was called Harriet. And this guy, he pointed a gun right at me. Bang! And the shell shot out the gun and landed right there on my shirt. And I was thinking, oh no, it's going to burn, it's going to burn. Oh no, it's okay, it's gone cold. Fine. And yeah, that pretty much summed up the whole of the shoot.
Yeah. Yeah. He was putting himself in very dangerous situations for me, and I really appreciate it.
It wasn't a shoot, it felt like a tour of duty, actually.
Yeah, exactly, it was. It was.